Hi everyone, welcome to this new video. In this video, we are going to be talking about one not very new but very exciting platform called Contextual AI. Now, I call this platform as the future of RAG system and agents, and the reason for this is because if you are into developing RAG agents and systems, then you would appreciate the kind of problems that these folks at Contextual AI are solving. Let me quickly get started, and I'll also try to show you the demo of how you can get started with this platform. They offer a very generous credit of $25 to try out their platform. So you can basically go ahead and log in and start creating agents on their platform. So let's talk about the traditional pain points in terms of building RAG systems traditionally by way of say manually setting up vector stores and things like that. So I feel one of the major challenges I myself have faced several times is the challenge of chunking, and you can't stress it enough, right? That how best you can chunk your data, and it becomes even more complex when you deal with multimodality. So you could have a PDF which has images, it might be having tables and things like that. Then in those situations you have to develop some specialized chunking strategy, which is quite painful in my opinion to implement from scratch. And then you need to also connect that chunk to the original document in a meaningful way, so that once you develop the UI, you can display the original document and things like that. So metadata selection and structuring are also some of the critical pain points. I feel this chunking point and this multimodality, these two things are what I feel are solved best by Contextual AI. They are doing wonderful job. And also, okay, one more thing which I have not mentioned here, although I have created one special slide for that, is the re-ranker thing. What they have done is they have created this whole new re-ranker which follows your instructions. So you can re-rank your documents based on your instructions. So instruction tuned re-ranker. Okay, so now based on these problems, now we can introduce Contextual AI. And also again, this is not a sponsored video. I personally tried this platform and I loved it because I've been building RAG applications and agents myself, and I know things get a little bit messy when you start to go into these things like chunking and all. So this is a unified platform, and what it does is it basically makes it easy to do all those things which are very difficult first, and then it also involves making so many critical decisions like chunk size, overlap size, what sort of how do we deal with images, how do we deal with tables and things like that. Okay, so now what they offer you these components for building RAG agents, but not only that, they offer you this agent abstraction with which you can simply go to their platform and create the agent by uploading document, and you can start right away. Okay, so what are the key components that are offered by Contextual AI? I feel first one is the parser, and what they do is they have created and they have invested good amount of time in creating this parser module. And what you can do is, if you don't want to use the entire Contextual AI platform, you can just use their parser module, and rest of the pieces of the RAG system you can use on your own, right? Because in many cases parser is something that is difficult. So what you can do is you can call their API, and I'll show you how you can do that in a moment, and you can just utilize their parsing capability. Okay, they have a state-of-the-art instruction following re-ranker, which I have already mentioned. They have created a LLM which is grounded in you can say your context. So they have optimized their text generation for quality, and they have also created this LM unit, which is kind of a modular building block for reasoning. And the main plus point for Contextual is the re-ranker, which I've talked enough. So this is an industry leading one. It is designed for instruction following capabilities, and it dramatically improves document retrieval relevance. Okay, and if I talk about the parsing capability, they parse PDFs, images. So you can talk about multi-modality in terms of parsing capability. Okay, you can upload your document with images and text and things like that. Okay, so now they offer you two different ways to interact with their services. First one is their UI, which is really good. I mean, I can't stress it enough. I'll show you in a moment. Just after this slide, I'll go ahead and show you their platform. But in many situations, you might have a bulk uploads or bulk queries. In those situations, you are free to use their APIs as well. One thing which I feel is something that might discourage some folks is that this is a paid platform. Okay, it is not for free. It is the company is investing heavily in building these products and suites of tools for doing RAG effectively. So they are charging, but they are giving you enough credits to try out and think before you invest heavily into their services. So I'll show you how you can set that up. Okay, so they have endpoints for each of the building blocks and components for RAG. You can call those these as primitives like parse, re-rank, generate, and LM unit. Okay, so let's now go to the UI. So let's search contextual AI, and I'll start with the very beginning. I'll start for free, and let's continue with email, and let me see if I can create a new account. Maybe they have restricted account creation based on API. I have already tried it with another account. Let me see if I can create another. Otherwise, if it is I think letting me create it. So what I can do is I can simply click on accepting this, and let's continue, and let's put the name, and let me change the number to I guess this number might be flagged because it's not flagged. So I'll probably call myself as freelancer. What's my role? ML engineer, and next. Okay, so now I have been given my organization's URL, and now I can do next, and then final check. Okay, next, and finally it should create my ID. So so congratulations Rahul, welcome to Contextual AI. Now if I go to the workspace, so this is the user space, and you can see I have got $25 credit. Now let's talk about some of the components here. On your left, you can see various navigation windows. You can see a quick overview, and then we have got agents, API reference, and I might want to open API reference in a new tab. Okay, so you have got this very rich API reference, which I loved, to be honest. But let's talk about creating an agent from the UI. Before you create the agent, you have to create a data store. Okay, this data store will actually hold your documents, and the good thing is that once you create the data store, you don't have to think about chunking and all. So now let me do one thing. Let me create the data store. Let me call it maybe my data store, and this data store is going to be created. And also one more thing, when you have to interface with these entities like data store agents from your Python environment or maybe JavaScript environment, you have to note their IDs. Each entity within the contextual AI platform has a ID with which it identifies itself, apart from the API key itself. Okay, because you would need API key, right? Okay, so once you have the data store, I would like to show you one document which I specifically downloaded for this demonstration purpose, because it has all the key report tutorials. So this PDF is 11 pages long, and it has got images and tables and all these things which makes chunking difficult. All these are included here. Now let's do one thing. Let's upload this document by clicking on this upload. So I'll click on drag and drop and report tutorial, and I'll do start uploading. Now it will take some time. The upload itself is completed, but it will take some time in processing, and you can see the status here. Now you can go to the agents tab, and you can connect. You can first of all create an agent, and then you can connect your agent with the data agent. You won't be able to interact with the agent until your data store, the documents in the data store have not been fully processed. And by the way, you can see the ID here from here. Okay, just going back to agents. Now if I click on new agent, what I can do is I can create something like maybe, I don't know, my agent. Okay, so now you can also connect your data stores, and I don't need to create a data store. I'll just link with existing data stores. So I have got this my data store. I can confirm it, and once I have connected it, meanwhile this data store is processing my documents in the backend. I'll come in system prompt, and system prompt is already filled. Most of the stuff is already filled by default. Okay, so we don't need to do a lot here. Now there are so many options which I can talk about, but not right now. I just want to quickly cover the demo. So then we have got advanced options like retrieval, how many number of results we should be basically retrieving, filtering, and things like that. Okay, but I'll just click on this create, and once we have the agent created, we should be able to type our questions and ask the questions to my agent. So this is my agent which is displayed here. Now let me go inside my data store and see what's the update of my. So it's saying it has processed the document. Now I can ask the question. What should I ask? Let's do one thing. Let's open the doc report tutorial. Let's ask something from it. Maybe. Okay, so let's frame a question around this. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go inside this agent and I'll type this question, and rather than this I'll type, if store were reporting sales, where would everything go? Very simple question, I know. Tell me in one sentence. Okay, let's run this. So it's finding the relevant documents. Okay, so it's saying, okay, now what we can do is we can look at the citations, and within the citations you can see all the chunks that have been referred, and these chunks have been highlighted. So this is how the chunks were created by the model. So first chunk, second chunk, right? So this is cool, right? So yeah, so this is how the agents in contextual AI work. And now let me see the API uses. If I refresh it, so my credit has been decreased, and in my opinion $25 with $25 you can do some introductory stuff, but you will soon run out of your credits. But if you like this platform, you can obviously go ahead and take the appropriate subscription for your use case. Okay, now where is your data stored? It's stored on the Contextual AI's cloud. They are claiming that it is stored in a secure manner, and obviously it would be, because these customer data are really really critical manner, and they might be taking it very seriously. So the thing that I want to stress here is that you don't have to think about setting up a vector database. You don't have to think about setting up metadata chunking strategy and things like that. Everything is taken care of by this platform. And for someone who is just starting out with vector search, semantic search, and things like that, this is a wonderful platform. Okay, it's basically a one package, one giant RAG package which offers you everything, and in a very simplistic manner. Now let me briefly talk about their APIs. You can come here and basically go to this different endpoints. So for example, data stores, agents. So all these endpoints are available. Parse, re-rank. So for example, if you don't want their other features, you just want parsing feature. For example, parse file. You might be in a situation where your current chunking strategy is not good, and you want to improve it by using contextual AI's parsers. Then you don't need to use other components. You can just use parsing capability. So what I can do is I can possibly copy this command and run this within, but for that I would probably need to create a API key which we can probably showcase. One second, let me click on Python request, and I'll just copy this code and I'll run it in Colab, because Colab offers you a very quick Python environment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not parse, let me showcase the data stores, listing data stores, okay, because this is much easier for me right now. So I'll just paste this, and I want to copy my secret token. I will come here, API tokens. Let's create a API token, maybe dummy token, and I'll do create, and let's copy it and let's paste it right here. You don't need to copy this API key because I will be deleting it as soon as this tutorial is over, but you see this is as simple as this. Okay, if I run this here, it should be able to retrieve my data stores which are there on my Contextual AI platform. Let's see if it is able to get that. Yes, total count of data stores 1. Then individually it provides a list, and this is the ID of my data store, name my data store, and then configuration, and it is using Gemini Flash VLM hierarchy. VLM means a visual model, okay, and Gemini, as you know, is very good at visually understanding things. Okay, so now this whole code can be run, and then you are not limited to just this. You can possibly push documents. For example, let me go to API reference, and let's try to open maybe parsing file. Now what I can do is I can have a raw file, and then I can just push it, okay, and then once, because see, parsing is could be a very long term job, and you can see here files must be less than 100 MB or 400 pages. So if you upload a file of 400 pages, you can't expect it to run immediately. So that's where you have this endpoint for parse status, with which you can check the status of your parsing job. Okay, I think that would be it. Let me go back to my presentation. So basically, why Contextual AI? I feel the main thing that it is solving is it is basically abstracting away all the complexity in building RAG agents, and with this tool anyone can go ahead and implement RAG based functionalities in their applications. Okay, go from documents to intelligent agents in minutes. That's the motto of Contextual AI. Okay, so yeah, so that would be it for this video. Let me know if you want a more deep dive discussions into any of these endpoints. I can probably do that for you. Maybe individually, if you want to only use re-rank, or you want a video demo for that one, I can do that. Let me know in the comments, and I would be glad to help you in that. Thank you so much.